G'day Taeries and Taerettes, welcome to another episode of Look What I Made. Today we have the Shire Lego Lord of the Rings set 10354 with 2017 pieces. This is the box. This is the set. This is the set behind the box in all its glory. There's too much going on. There is a lot going on here, so we're going to break it down into pieces and give you a more in-depth view. It's actually the first thing that you build, which is really nice, and it's the first thing you see in the movie. It's Frodo going to meet Gandalf on the horse, because the wizard is never late. You get a nice little horse here, fireworks and everything in there. You get Gandalf sitting, and you get Frodo sitting. Let me show you how they did the sit. Yes, so he's dead now, rip. You basically get a snot brick, well, I think they're called lantern, and a single colour brick to mimic his pants. The actual colours are spot on, because obviously it's a colour they make. You can have him with his legs on, and then you have his legs, which you could put as lanterns on normally. I think he's taller with those. Yeah, he is. Someone shot my knees out! So I put it on wrong, obviously, just to show a point. Look at the booty cheeks. And then he gets a single stud to put his booty cheeks on. And you get Gandalf. So when you put him on here, you have to actually take off his hair, his skirt, and his cloak to put this on, which is made of one of these pieces with a 2x1. And then the skirt piece is just a slope with a 2x1 and put it on. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is printed. And then you just put him on. Bang, he's done. And you can just change him into his skirt whenever you need. Bilbo! So this one has a whole thing about it. So you know in the movie where Bilbo grabs the One Ring, puts it on after giving his speech, and he disappears.
Oh.
That's what this is.
Abracadabra.
This isn't a sticker, it's actually a piece of material. Also, it told me to punch through with these once again, so they did not learn. But you grab it, you put it into one of the holes, because it should just fit the hole, and then you just push it through. And then you clip it on wherever. They wanted me to puncture it. Yes, with this one they wanted me to puncture all of them.
No.
And I'm like, nope, it was harder to do, but it needed to be done. So that's the little mechanism. So there's actually a little cog in the back and a whole system of wheels and all kinds of crazy stuff in there just to make that happen. And a stopper, so you can't actually go further than that point. So that's it. It's pretty good. You get him with the ring, you get his hair, he looks like Doc Brown. Happy birthday, Bilbo. Here we go. This is where Merry and Pippin steal the big firework, which is the really nice one. And they're like, oh, we'll just take that one. I like the firework. It actually looks pretty cool. It looks like a little dragon, which is nice with the little head on the side. I thought that was a nice touch. This is them when they steal it. And this is what it looks like after it explodes. Firework explosion thing. You get their hair different and you get scratches on their faces from all the soot and smoke and stuff, just like the movie. And these are the extra parts that you get with that to make your own stories and little scenes that bring this whole set alive.
This is just Dragon Ball Z hair.
It is. They should do a Dragon Ball Z set. But by the movie, the real true Dragon Ball Z. When they set off the firework, it comes out and it comes into this. So this is just a random tree with a lot of fairy lights and the brick-made dragon, which is okay. Pieces are interesting. It's just a lot of technique-y kind of things just all put together. This is some kind of sword thing and then the eyes are tooths. This took a lot of time to build and I don't really feel like it was worth it. It was really annoying. I bent a lot of these pieces and I'm not new to Lego, so I know what I'm doing and I bent a lot of things. I was over it by the end. This is probably the worst part of the build. Putting these on is always hell. And I don't really think it looks good. I feel like they should have done something else. So we've got the tent and cake table. So you got basically this tent thing, which was one piece that I had to fold into itself. Once again, I showed you how to put the pieces in without ripping the thing, which is quite annoying. They fold over each other, so they go into one point. So it's basically a big, weird shaped sheet, and that makes the tent. And then you have the food, which is just a cake and some steins and a croissant, which isn't too bad. Wasn't a bad brick-made cake. Wasn't anything special. I guess you need to sort of have some food around because that's what hobbits are known for. Now, the main part. Little hole in the ground where there lived a hobbit. So we've got this. These were very interesting to build. This is a sticker, unfortunately. Wolverine claws in green. I think they're really cool. And these little flowers, I know that there's a whole massive set here to talk about. So what it is, so a leaf, pan, and then the flower goes into the pan handle, which is at the top.
Okay.
And it goes up, and it's sort of like just a little flower that pops up. It's dumb and it's nonsensical, but it just works really well. You got some ivy up here. You got the door. You got the what I wanted to talk about, which is the fence. Now these are boomerangs that are basically with single stud boomerang, and the other ones are boomerang stud boomerang. So you put them all on like that, and then you push them inside the other one. So what it basically does is it hugs the inside. And it creates like a fence thing. So you got a nice, massive outcrop of hole, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it. You get some chimneys up here. You get a nice tree. It looks pretty much like what it is from the movie. You get some nice cobblestone on the side where they've just built it up. Some nice plants everywhere. Pumpkins. I don't know if he grew pumpkins, but he does now.
His washrooms?
Yeah, you get his bloomers or something, and then you have the inside. You get the nice little set, another sticker here, which is the There and Back Again by Bilbo Baggins. That's also a sticker. I would have thought that they would have had that printed. And then signed contract. You got a nice little brick built chair, a nice tree, which is Speak Friend and Enter, I think it looks like, one of the fireplaces. Also, you get these everywhere. So it's basically a white pen. So they recolored these in white because it looks like a candle that's dripping wax on the side. And so you put it in and it's done. You got a candle. You get a rug, a coat rack, and a really nice ornate armoire. I don't know what this thing is either. I think it looks like it does something, but I'm not.
Isn't it the thing?
Oh, it could be. It could be to make the bellows. Big chunk of gold. The mithril shirt, which is another sticker.
Oh,
These aren't stickers, which is good. You get some letters, a map. That's unfortunately a sticker. These are not stickers. I don't know if hedgehog is a new piece or not. They call it an acorn in this, but it's a hedgehog. So this brown thing in the back, this is the piece.
It does look like an acorn though.
Yeah, and I think they're just using it as an acorn. There's no eyes on it, so I guess it's...
Someone poked its eyes out.
And you get some flowers, again, which were really hard to do because you couldn't tell in the magazine whether the brighter yellow go on the bottom or the top. And you get these chairs. These chairs, just so you know, don't fit perfectly on studs. There's no locking. This is the piece that you get. It just doesn't fit. Which might be what they wanted to do. They wanted to sort of be more... You
Like
just
a
lift it up and move it
dollhouse.
around or whatever. So you have Bilbo's parents, who is Peter Jackson and Peter Jackson's wife in the movie. And this is their brick-built portrait versions. And they are both stickers. The piece of resistance, one of the things. This little knob here, you can see the letter in there burning.
Yeah.
You click it and it turns into the ring. Very interesting mechanism that made this up. It's a lot more work than I think it needed to be. The door opens. Yeah, the rug gets in its way actually. That shouldn't be rubbing against that. Okay, well that's Lego QC. Thanks. Why put the rug there if it doesn't do anything and it rubs and destroys your pieces? Cool, and you get two nice whips on the door, which is the iron work, and a microphone as the doorknob. The door doesn't fully fit.
Oh.
So
a bit
there's
disappointing.
holes, and I'm not too happy about that. You can see it there
Oh, yeah.
in the promotional picture. I'm sure that a Hobbit wouldn't have draft coming in. So I think that's just poor design. Like you can see into here where there's gaps and stuff, and they've just tried to put, just chuck a heap of crap in front of it and we'll just hide it. And they've done it on multiple angles. Like this one here, you can see it doesn't butt up against it. If you're going to work with lots of angles, probably get some better design. There's gaps, just gaps everywhere, and it's pretty sad to see gaps. When you're making it, you can see the gaps.
Hello, this is the site inspector for the Hobbit Shire. And it doesn't seem to look very good as per the codes and practices. This should not be here. There should be a 0 mil gap.
For such an expensive set, you would expect it to be spot on, no mucking around. Once again, got a big gap here, you've got gaps here, here and here. I don't know, I don't feel like that should be an issue. You have all these pieces, 2017, and you couldn't fix that. Don't make it so angular. That's my gripe with the set. That and a few things that I just don't care about, like the tree.
Yeah.
It's not the best. I do want you to lift this set though.
It's not as fragile as other sets.
It's a brick.
Yeah.
Literally a brick.
But it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart.
No, it
because
doesn't
I'm
at
gonna
all.
move
It feels really well
You
put
can-
together. And there's not that much actually holding it, but it's really heavy and really thickly made. And from certain angles, it just looks amazing.
I mean,
Looking at it from the front isn't that good, but the angles you get with the camera, looking through the camera, looks really good. So it looks better on camera than it does in person.
don't you think it's too green though? I know it's
It's
the
very
Shire,
green.
but they have other green colors they could have used to just add some.
Oh yeah, they
depth
could have done different color grains. 100%.
And
100%.
made you stress out like the Deku tree where you couldn't tell what green
Yeah,
it was.
true, maybe. I think it's a really fantastic set. Just that part. The rest of it, I don't need the rest of it. That other stuff can go. I would probably need...
I
I'd
think.
be set with that. 3 characters and that
Oh, but
at a lower point, lower
yeah.
cost point. So it's not lit very well, but I think this is really nice. They are creating Lord of the Rings book nooks. Will be the battle of the Balrog and Gandalf. However, when I was making this set, I feel like this is a much better setup. So you could possibly even have that.
You could have just sold this as a book nook set then.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this originally was a book nook that someone made. And they thought, this is genius. And then someone's like, no, we want the whole thing. Because this pulls apart to be a perfect book nook. It's not as high as what you'd probably want. So you'd probably want the ground to come higher because there's actually a decent height difference between the bottom and the top. If you made that higher, this would be the perfect book nook. And I think that would just kill it. These are the spare parts. We get a lot of rods, and I'm not 100% sure why we get so many. We get lots of swords and shearers
Scissors
and
Flowers
flowers and ring and... Oh, is that one ring? Okay, well, that's cool. Okay, so the first book is what I call the Nook. It has Frodo running around.
It gives you some Easter eggs about
Yeah,
those.
quite a lot of Easter eggs about the movies and the sets. You get more of the supporting characters, which is cool. And on the book, it actually shows you what you make with each of them. Lots of green. And then you got the festivities. True. And there's the stickers. There's not that many for such a big set. I hope you enjoyed that. It was enjoyable to make. A lot of the... You'd think there'd be a lot of just the same stuff again and again and again, but not really. There wasn't much repetition. A lot of things that could have been trimmed out. A lot of things that I had more fun with than I thought I would with this set, which is
Some
always
things
good.
you hated building.
Some things I didn't think should exist in any context. And yeah, so if you like Lord of the Rings, if you like the Hobbit movies, I think this is a good one to get. And that's the set. Taeries and Taerettes, let us know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the set, if you have the set, if you don't have the set, if you care about it, don't care about it, if you got the GWP, just let us know. Just say hello in the comments. It's cool to hear from you.
Or tell us your favorite Lord of the Ring quote. Okay.
Yes.
Whatever. We'll talk about Lord of the Rings all day long. Yeah, I like that Dumbledore over there.
That Dumbledore character is fantastic. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and most importantly of all, look after yourselves.
Check your out.
Peace!